Hey Bible lovers, I'm Tim Nichols, and I'm here to bring you your Nichols Worth. And today from Redbird Bibles, I'm going to give you a look at the scope of his work in several different leathers. He is probably among the top rebinders that is in the business today. And I've got 4 different leathers to showcase, and these 2 blocks are actually kind of special. But first, let's go ahead and start with this one. This is the Minerva Pebble Grain in that brown. It reminds me of a football, just really beautiful leather. Love the spine work on this thing. I absolutely love the way he double tools those spine hubs, and then blind stamped his Redbird logo and put the gold stamping there. I've reviewed this. I'll put it on the end screen. Very nice. 3 gold Beresford ribbons. Stitch work is just absolutely gorgeous. Early on, Redbird didn't offer stitch work, so he mastered this really quick. Nice little tool line to hug the block. And then when you get inside, you got the beautiful corners. Nobody beats Redbird's corners. Those things are absolutely gorgeous. This yap is just on point and perfect. This is the Caxton text block, actually called the NLT Select. This text block is from Tyndale, but they sold some of them to Schuyler so they could make the Caxton. So if you have the Caxton or if you have the Select, you're going to have the exact same text block. Pretty amazing. This is an 8.75 font, has the references on the outside, has really nice paper. This is a good text block. His art gilding work is beautiful. That's kind of a fuchsia color there. Absolutely gorgeous. And when you test it for lay flat, this is a personal size Bible, very thick. They're going to be difficult to get to lay flat, so we're going to go ahead and test this thing. And remember, you train your rebinds by pressing on that leather tab. And here we are in Genesis. Not bad at all. Check that out. That is actually, for a personal size Bible in a rebind, that is super impressive. And what happens to cause that to raise up is this is a piece of the liner. This is a mocha colored lambskin liner, and they cut a piece of it out in order to tab it to the text block. And you can kind of see it when you go in there. You can see where that's been cut out. It's a little difficult on this one because it's tight, but this is well done. Now, this is my favorite one from Redbird, and this is my NASB single column reference Bible, and this is in blue double shot leather and just absolutely gorgeous. And generally I don't like my cowhide gold stamped, but it really works on this one. I generally prefer it blind stamped, and I'll show you why on one of the examples here. But again, the double tooled hubs, beautiful spine work, the Redbird logo. Now some say that looks off center, but you have to factor in for the little tail there, and he's actually got a more modern logo that I think is really cool. 3 burgundy Beresford ribbons, beautiful perimeter stitching, and check it out. Not sure if you can see it on the camera, but it's got double tool lines there. Absolutely beautiful. And then it has a burgundy liner with that beautiful gilt line, those outstanding signature Redbird corners, and of course your leather tab going on this paper end sheet. When you open it, it's absolutely beautiful. This is one of Lockman's best text blocks. This is the newer version of what was called the Judge. And then when you go to the presentation page, this one wants to raise up a little bit because it's got a bunch of presentation pages, but by the time you get to early Genesis, again, train that leather tab. This is a piece of leather. It can be trained, just like a yap can be trained, just like any leather can be trained. You just gently press on that tab and it will cause it to lay much flatter. So now, these 2 have never been trained. So we're going to look at these, and this also features another logo option for Redbird, which I think is really cool. It almost gives me Louisville Slugger vibes. Being a native of Louisville, Kentucky, and still living in Kentucky, I find that kind of cool. But then on the back, he does his little regular Redbird logo. Thought that was really slick. This is a blue native goatskin, beautiful. Sort of reminds me of Sokoto with that shine, but you've got a really nice little tool line hugging that text block, just beautiful leather. And one thing that would have been really nice is to have some burgundy stitching here. It probably would have clashed, but I'm one of those guys that likes to take some risks. This is a very, very nice leather, very nice Bible. And then it has that Spider-Man, Superman effect, where it has the blue cover and that bright red liner. So if that's the Bible, if you like the Allen Superman Bible or the Allen Spider-Man Bible, which the Spider-Man is inverse, just red on the outside, blue on the inside, but still you'll love this color combination. Of course, those corners are just absolutely stellar. Love how this end sheet matches well with the leather. And then when you open the text block, this, you all, is The 1960 Reina Valera Spanish translation of the Bible, and I am pretty sure this is the first ever rebind of this Bible. Now, I can't read Spanish, so this Bible actually has a very special purpose that we'll be revealing later. So keep your eyes peeled to the Spanish-speaking folks out there, or to those who have someone they love that is Spanish-speaking, or Spanish is their first language or even their second language. You might be getting hooked up with a really cool Bible if you enter a giveaway in the future, but this is absolutely gorgeous. Let's check the yap on this thing. That yap is a little bit over there. So if you like that kind of overbite type of yap, this Bible is like that all the way around. Just a super duper yap Bible, just beautiful all the way around. And then this one is the waxy pull-up. The tobacco does so good on that pull-up effect. Check that, it's just so beautiful. Also, with the waxy pull-up, if you get a scratch on it, like so, then you can just simply rub it right out. So don't freak out on me, Kevin. This rubs out and will become just as good as it ever was before. Really cool rebind. And this is why I like cowhides to be blind stamped. Number one, I actually like that he went a little more simple on the spine hubs and gives it that classic like ESV crossway look. But you see, when you blind stamp cowhides, it gives it that black antique look. And also, check that out. That's just a single little R with a little swoop. So you've got several logo options with Redbird. One good thing about getting custom work is if you want the spine hubs all blinged out, you can get that. If you want them simplified, you can get that. If you want a different color leather, you can get that. If you want cowhide, goat skin, you name it, you can get that. And you get all the extra bells and whistles that come. And then this has a black lambskin liner. Check out that gilt line. I love how it hugs it tight to that lip, that fold over, the outside cover leather. Black stitching just looks wonderful on this. Matches really well with the black Beresford ribbons and the black antiquing stamped on that spine. And this is actually a dyslexia-friendly ESV. So be looking out for this. If you know someone that has some reading difficulties and needs a bit of a different layout in order to be able to read the Bible effectively, this is a good opportunity for you, because this Bible might just be getting given away soon. Check out later information for details. But let's go ahead and check out the lay flat, because these are not broken at all. I just opened the box and just decided to roll with it. Oh, this leather, I can smell it from here. It is beautiful. Can you smell the leather? It is awesome. So let's go ahead and open it. And you can see it's got a little bit of a hump there. And what you do in a brand new rebind, as I've shown you before, is you just give it a little bit of training. And just with a little bit of effort, you can see that gutter's already sprayed out. This leather will train beautifully. And then let's go to the beginning in Genesis. And it's wanting to raise up here, but again, this is in the preface of the Bible. We're not even in Genesis at this point. Give it a little train, and then move forward to Genesis chapter 1. And you can see, with very little effort, we're laying pretty good and flat on an ESV dyslexia-friendly Bible. Now let's go ahead and check this last one. This is the Reina Valera Schuyler Quintel 28 GSM. Now we're going to see if this one will lay flat as well. Let's give it a little bit of training. Here we are in the poetic settings. One cool thing about this is, check this out. Poetic settings, single column. Regular settings, double column. Pretty cool, almost kind of like a Canterbury vibe here. So let's go to the beginning. We're in Deuteronomy. Oh yeah, check that out. I didn't even train that at all. And here we are at the beginning of the Bible, and just laying beautifully flat. That's one thing about Schuyler's that you can't knock, is their ability to lay flat. So Kevin Schaub with Redbird Bibles is doing some amazing work, and I wanted to showcase his work and possibly be able to give you a couple of his Bibles. If you know somebody that speaks Spanish, or you know someone that needs a dyslexia, or someone who has reading difficulties that needs a more reader-friendly version of the ESV, be looking out for details soon. God bless you. Keep calm. Jesus on. This is your Nicholsworth.